So we're on the main card, people. We have 4 fights, right? And it all opens up with another Kyle, right? We have a lightweight fight featuring another Kyle. This time it's Kyle Nelson, and he's going up against Matt Frevola. Which, yeah, that's a good fight, right? That's a lot of fun. You know, the steamroller, Matt Frevola. He's 35, 5'9", 71-inch reach. Has an overall record of 11-5-1. In the UFC, right, he is 5-5-1. And he's coming in off of a 2-fight skid. Came to the UFC via the Contender Series. Right, so last time out he lost to Fares Ziam. Ooh, yeah, that was a tough one, right? That was in Paris, I believe. September 2024. Yes, that definitely was in Paris. And then before that, right, in November 2023, got stopped by Benoit Saint-Denis. I think that was in Madison Square Garden, right? First round, he was backing out and got caught with a head kick. Oh, man, that was tough. But, you know, he got some really good wins before that, right? Beat Jourdain. Stopped him first round. He got a performance of the night for that one. And he also beat Otam Azaitar, right? Who was on a streak, right? He was 13 fights unbeaten. And Matty Boy came out, stopped him in the first. That was a huge one. That was also at Madison Square Garden. So, you know what I mean? Some nights it's fireworks, and then other nights it's the doldrums. That's the crazy game. And that sums up Frevola's fighting style, right? Because he will come at you. You know what I mean? He is a steamroller. You know what I mean? That's Matt, right? So yeah, he's had big wins. He's had, you know, big losses, right? Like the Terence McKinney one. He did, right, go to a decision with Aiemann Tsarukyan, right, back in January 2021, which, you know, when you look at Tsarukyan, that's a very good result, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, Frevola is tough, right? He is tough. He's got submissions because, you know, he fights like, you know, he's not a Sarah Longo fighter, right? He fights out of Gracie Tampa South, but he does train a lot with Sarah Longo, right? So if you're training under Matt, right, you're gonna get good with your subs. You know what I mean? So he does have submissions. He does like to crack, though. He likes to throw those hands, as it were. You know what I mean? So, yeah, he has got skills, right? He's got skills. He is very tough. I think the big knock on Matt sometimes is he can see red, right? The game plan will go out the window and it's balls to the wall, right? That is the knock on Frevola at times, right? If he's a bit more calculated, he gets the win, you know? And he's going up against the monster, Kyle Nelson, who is 34, 5'11", 71-inch reach. So, yeah, he's a couple of inches taller, but they do have the same reach, right? Which is always an interesting one. So Nelson's got an overall record of 16-6-1. He is also coming in off of a loss, right? So he is 4-5-1 in the UFC. All right, last time out, he did miss weight and he got stopped in the first by Steve Garcia. All right, that was September 2024. And Garcia's a beast, man. He's headlining, a fight night, right? That's where Garcia has risen, because he's just been silently stacking wins, So there is that. That was last time out. But, he made his UFC debut all the way back in December 2018. So he got stopped by Diego Ferreira. He then lost to Matt Sales, right? Got caught with an arm triangle, May 2019. But he then beat Polo Reyes, who, they both have actually fought. Matt lost to him. Nelson beat him. But MMA maths don't always add up, you know what I mean? He then lost to Billy Quarantillo and Jai Herbert. Drew with Do Hoi Choi. Then he beat, Blake Bilder, Fernando Padilla, and Bill Aligo. Alright, so, Nelson, he is good. He's got wins, but he's also been stopped. I would say that Matt has fought the higher competition. You know what I mean? Has definitely fought the higher competition, comes out of a great camp, has great training partners. I think Frevola is going to rise to the occasion, I think he's going to rise to the occasion and get the big win. So I'm taking Matty Boy, the steamroller, Frevola, to get the job done, people. So we then jump to the bantamweights, right? And this is a good fight, right? Charles Jourdain against Davey Grant. Woo! This is nice, man. Dangerous Davey Grant. 39, 5'8", 69-inch reach. Overall record of 15-7. He's on a 2-fight win streak. Yeah. Right? And, man, he's 8-6 in the UFC. Which doesn't do justice, I feel, to everything he's done, right? Last time out, I thought, he fought Damon Blackshear. I took Damon for the win. Right? Because what we'd seen from Blackshear, he'd been blazing. But Grant put on a great performance that night. Right? Great performance. He beat Raymond Tavares before that. He got he lost a split decision to Daniel Marcos. Right? And that's that was a tough fight to score. Really good win over Rafael Assunção. Louis Smoker, right? He is, he might have beaten Adrian Yanez, right? That was another split. He's just been, there's been some tough ones, right? There's been some tough ones, but Davey Grant always comes to perform, right? Always comes to perform. He's been in there having wars. Came via the Ultimate Fighter, back in 2013. I don't even know what season that was, man. But yeah, came by the Ultimate Fighter. He lost in the final to Chris Holdsworth. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, he's fought some tough people. He's stopped people, right? He does have submissions. And so he is going up against Charles Jourdain, who's 29, 5'9", 69-inch reach. Overall record of 16-8-1, coming in off of a win, right? He's 7-7-1 in the UFC. Right, beat Victor Henry, got a guillotine, second round back in November 2024. Got performance of the night for that one. And that, broke a little skid, right? Lost to Sean Woodson, split decision, got knocked out by Jean Silva. But two great fighters right there, you know what I mean? Yeah, he's got some very good wins. Beat Crone Gracie, right? Ricardo Ramos, Lando Venata, Andre Ewell, right? Yeah, he does have some good wins. He can be very slick, right? Jourdain can be extremely slick. Good kicks, all of that jazz. Davey, right? He has definitely got he's fought the higher competition, right? He has fought the higher competition, and man, he's been looking so good of late, right? He really has, defying the odds, right? He says he feels the best he has ever felt, right? So, I think I was originally gonna take Jourdain, but you know what? I think I'm actually gonna throw my hat behind Davey Grant to continue his winning streak. So we then are back with our final ladies fight. We have 3 on this card, right? It is the flyweights. And like a lot of these fights, right, it features top Canadian talent, right? We have Manon Fiorot against Jasmine Jasudavicius. And boy, this is a good one, right? Jazzy hands, Jasmine Jasudavicius, 36, 5'7", 68-inch reach. Right, she's 14-3 overall in the UFC. Right, she is 8-2. Came via the Contender Series, and she's on a 3-fight win streak, and looked good. Right, looked really good in those fights. Actually, she's on a 4-fight win. Hold on, I can't read. Sorry, she's on a 5-fight win streak. Yeah, I cannot read. Right, so, man, this all started back in January 2024. Right, she beat Priscilla Cachoeira. Got a Darce choke in the 3rd. Right, she then beat Fatima Klein. I do believe Klein came in on short notice for that one. All right, that went to a decision. She caught Irene Lipsky with a Darce choke as well, also in the 3rd round. Got performance of the night for that. Right, beat Mayra Bueno Silva, and really just put it on Silva in that fight, right? And the biggest win, choked out Jessica Andrade, right? Last time out, right? May this year. And, also got another performance of the night. And, man, I took Andrade for the win there, right? Because I just thought all that experience, she's fought fighters like Javicius and won. So I was like, you know what? But no, Jazz Hands put it on her, right? And I think it's that fight that really kind of sold you on who Javicius is. And I think she has definitely got the potential to go all the way, right? Like, I think watching her in some of her earlier fights, and to be honest, she has kind of grown up in the UFC, really. She looked tough, right? But not polished. You know what I mean? Not completely polished. But she has really been working hard, right? She trains, I think, Niagara top team. Whew. And she's got a good camp, fights with a lot of good fighters. And I think we have seen her really polish those skills, really just perfect her style. And she is coming into her own, right? Definitely coming into her own. At 36, you know what I mean? You can't front. You can't be messing around. And she definitely is not, right? So she's been putting together. And I think this is a good time for her to fight the beast, Manon Fiorot, right? Who is 35, 5'7", 66-inch reach. So, Fiorot is just a year younger. They're the same height. But Jasudavicius has a 2-inch reach advantage. Now, the Beast has an overall record of 12-2, coming in off of a loss, right? Which was her fight against Valentina. She's 7-1 in the UFC, right? And I think coming into that fight, a lot of people thought that Fiorot had everything needed to beat Shevchenko, right? And when you heard Fiorot talking, man, she was, really selling it, right? About her skills, her abilities, and everything. But Shevchenko just shut her down. It was a very good win for Valentina, But Fiorot, she's fought some good people, right? She beat Rose. She beat Aaron, Jennifer Maia, right? They both have fought Mayra Bueno Silva and won. So, she's fought some tough people. I will say, though, right? I will say that Jazz Hands may have fought the tougher opposition. May have. Now, she has fought Rose and she has fought Blanchfield. I would say that Rose was... I think that was Rose's first fight at Flyweight. And Rose was looked completely undersized. She's definitely bulked up and filled out more now. But that fight, the Aaron fight, Blanchfield just did not... It wasn't the Aaron we had seen in previous fights. So, you know what I mean? There is a little caveat on those two. Though, Fiorot got the wins, right? There's no denying that, and looked good doing it. But everyone else, they're good fight. Like Tabitha Ricci, a really good fighter. But, I think Jazz, she's had that tougher opposition, and sometimes, right, after getting to the pinnacle, right, you fought for the title, it didn't work out. But we've seen so many people in that situation and then they lose the next fight, right? Because it's hard to be motivated when you think, I could have been champion, right? I don't know what happened. I could have won. Like, why am I fighting this person? They're not as good as me, right? And then they lose again. So we have seen people with that championship hangover in their next fight. So I'm curious. I'm very curious to see what happens here. I do want to roll the dice, people. Right? I do want to roll the dice. So I'm going to take Jasudavicius for the win. And so then we get to our featured bout of the night. We have Marlon Vera against Aiemann Zahabi. Ooh, this is a good one, right? Zahabi is 37, 5'8", 68.5-inch reach. Overall record of 13-2. And he is on a 6-fight win streak. Obviously, right? Fights out of TriStar. So he has got a great selection of training partners. Right? Great selection of training partners. He's 7-2 in the UFC. Beat Jose Aldo last time out. Right? Pedro Munez, Javad Basharat, Ariel Long, Ricky Torcio. Right? Draco Rodriguez. He's got good wins. He has got good wins. Made his UFC debut all the way back in February 2017. Now, it's been injury that has, prohibited his rise a bit. But I think he's definitely, got on a flow, right? He's feeling himself right now. Jose Aldo, huge win right there. Huge win. And he looked very good doing it. Is this the time of Zahabi? Right? That's what you ask yourself. And, he's got a good skill set. Right? He puts it together well. And I think the other big thing about Zahabi is very coachable. Right? You hear his brother talking to him in the corner at times. And then you go see him put that together. Right? So I think that's a big, big part of Zahabi. You know what I mean? He listens and puts into action. Right? And he will definitely need to be doing that in this fight. Because Chito Vera, he's no joke, right? He's 32, 5'8", 70.5-inch reach. Overall record of 23-10-1. He's currently on a 2-fight losing streak. He's 15-9 in the UFC. All right, so he lost to Davison Figueiredo last time out. That was August 2024. Went to a decision. Had a very lackluster fight. I mean, the Figueiredo was lackluster. So was the Sean O'Malley fight. Right? Just, very flat. Like, he did catch O'Malley, I think, in the 5th round, I think it was, right? But just didn't get started before that, which was crazy. It was crazy. Like, we've seen him have incredible fights, right? Just stopping Frankie Edgar, stopping Dominic Cruz, you know what I mean? He's fought extremely well, but he also can just freeze up, like the Jose Aldo fight, right? Just, again, didn't show up. didn't show up. And that happens at times. He can be a very slow starter, right? He can be that, you know? But, yeah, like, he has got the skill set, right? Jason Perillo, you know, is his coach. And Perillo, right? Very good coach. Very good coach. All right? So, it is tough, right? It is very tough with Cheeto, right? Fans love him, right? Fans love him. He is cool, right? But how will this fight go? You know, I'm intrigued because I think it will tell us a lot. It will tell us where Zahabi is, and it will also tell us where Cheeto is, right? Because if we get another flat, uninspired performance, I think that will let you know, I think Cheeto has hit his ceiling, right? I don't think he can get to the title. I don't think he can get to another title shot. And that title shot came because of the history with him and O'Malley, essentially. You know what I mean? And if Zahabi wins, boy, right? Now, obviously, it's not as big as the Aldo fight, but it tells us, you know what I mean, that he has got that potential to go all the way, right? It reaffirms that. So I'm intrigued. It is a great fight to take us into our last two. And people, I'm taking Aiemann. I'm taking Aiemann Zahabi for the win. Okay. Yeah. Now let us look at these last two, starting with the co-main event.